Alex Eala Relentless en route to ASB Classic semis. Alex Eala cruised past another foe on Friday and seems to be peaking just at the right time when she guns for a slot in the title match of the WTA 250 ASB Classic in Auckland, New Zealand. The 20-year-old Filipino, who seems to have become the darling of the tennis world since a breakout performance in Miami last year, was simply too good for Poland's Magda Linette, scoring a 6-3, 6-2 win to easily make the semifinals opposite China's Wang Xinyu. It feels so good. Thank you, everybody, for being here, Eala told the crowd after the 1 hour and 37-minute match. I did my best. I do what I can, and if I see an opening, I think it's important that I go for it. Today was difficult, Eala said, despite having lost just a combined 7 games in her last 2 matches since rallying from a set down in a first-round win over 2024 Olympic silver medalist Donna Vekic, 4-6, 6-4, 6-4. Obviously, Magda being such an experienced player, and I have difficulties playing against her before. So I'm happy that I've seen my level increase and my level improve. Eala was referring to a 0-4-3 record against the Pole in career meetings, and her breakthrough win over Linette gives her all the momentum she needs in a clash with Wang, the 7th-ranked player in the tournament. Eala, who ended last year with the Philippines' first women's singles gold medal in the Southeast Asian Games in 32 years, had 14 breakpoint chances and playing with so much dominance against Linette. She converted 6 while being broken just twice. Thigh injury. Ranked 57th in the world, Wang has also not lost a set in her last 2 matches, and she got out of her quarterfinal match rather easily compared to Eala after American Francesca Jones retired because of a right thigh injury while trailing 6-4, 4-3. 30-0. The Chinese was in the middle of a very competitive match against Jones when signs of trouble showed up for the American late in the first set when she asked for a trainer and did squats in between points. I hope she can recover fast for the Australian Open, Wang said of Jones. She's playing great. I hope to see her again in 2 weeks. The 24-year-old Shenzhen native, though, has a very unappealing record in two-level semifinals on hard courts, going 0-8 in her career thus far. Playing on the other side of the draw is top seed Elina Svitolina, who needed to dig deep before fending off British number 2 Sonari Kartal in a marathon 6-4, 6-7, 2, 7-6, 5, when that took no less than 2 hours and 36 minutes to decide. It was a very draining match, to say the least, with the world number 13 Svitolina acknowledging it. I think it was 50-50, mental and physical, because I had to stay really focused on myself, on the fighting spirit, to stay in the match, she said after advancing opposite 3rd-ranked Iva Jovic, a 6-2 7-6, 6 winner over Belgian Sofia Kostulas. The morning air in Auckland carried a quiet tension, the kind that settles over a city just before something announces itself. On the blue courts of the ASB Classic, Alex Eala walked with the calm of someone who had already made peace with the work ahead. She did not arrive with noise or bravado. She arrived with purpose. For years, her name had traveled ahead of her, whispered through junior circuits, carried by headlines that spoke of promise and potential. But promise, Alex knew, was only a word. What mattered was proof. And proof, in tennis, is demanded 1 point at a time. Each match in her run to the semifinals felt like a conversation between patience and fire. From the baseline, her strokes were measured but insistent, asking questions her opponents were forced to answer under pressure. She didn't rush. She constructed points the way an architect designs a building, layer by layer, shot by shot, refusing to let cracks form in her foundation. There were moments when the rally stretched long, when lungs burned and legs screamed for relief. In those exchanges, Alex's relentlessness revealed itself not in power, but in belief. She chased balls others might abandon. She turned defense into opportunity, sliding into shots that seemed already lost. The crowd began to notice, not just the shots she made, but the ones she refused to give up on. Her journey through the draw was not smooth, nor was it supposed to be. Tennis does not reward comfort. One match tested her nerve, forcing her to stare down break points as if they were personal challenges. Another demanded adaptability, a shift in tactics mid-match when what had worked before no longer did. Each time, Alex responded not with panic, but with clarity. She listened, to her instincts, to her preparation, to the countless hours of training that had taught her how to survive moments like these. Between points, she reset. A deep breath, a glance at her strings, a quiet reminder that the next ball was the only one that mattered. What made her run compelling was not just the results, but the way she earned them. She didn't dominate every set. She didn't escape pressure entirely. Instead, she endured. She absorbed momentum when it swung away from her and reclaimed it through discipline. There was a maturity in her decision-making that hinted at battles already fought long before Auckland, battles in training sessions, in junior finals, in the lonely grind of improvement that rarely makes headlines. As she moved closer to the semifinals, the atmosphere around her matches subtly changed. The crowd leaned in. Expectations grew. Yet Alex remained anchored. Her body language spoke of resolve, her movement sharp and economical, her focus unwavering even when the noise around her rose. The semifinal berth did not arrive with fireworks. It arrived with a final, hard-earned point, sealed by a shot struck with conviction. When it was over, Alex allowed herself a brief smile. Small, genuine, earned. It was the smile of someone who knew this was not the destination, but a meaningful milestone on a much longer road. Her run at the ASB Classic was not just a story of wins and losses. It was a portrait of a young athlete carving space for herself among seasoned competitors. It was a reminder that relentlessness is not loud. It is persistent. It shows up early, stays late, and refuses to disappear when things get difficult. In Auckland, Alex Eala did more than reach the semifinals. She announced, quietly but firmly, that she belonged on this stage. And as she walked off the court, racket in hand, one thing was clear. This was not the peak of her journey. It was the foundation,